As you know, this year our theme is opportunity and entrepreneurship. And when we began to think about who we could ask back, we looked at the theme, we looked at the dates, we looked at the location, and we said, we've got somebody. I think we've got a good alum this year. And when we all sat down to think about it, it was really special to me, because all of our alumni speakers have been people that I've known well when they were in their East programs in middle school and in high school. But this is the first one that I taught, okay? He came out of North Pulaski High School. Are any Falcons in the room? Oh, you can do better than that. I met Sam in the 8th grade, okay? He had a lot of potential. And I want you to ask Mr. Tim Stevenson what potential will get you sometime later this week, okay? He was outgoing. He was fun to be around. He was more trouble than he was worth some days. But he was eager, and he fell in love with the opportunities that he got in East, and not just because it let him out in the halls between classes. The picture in the center there, Sam and I were talking about it before, or in the dress rehearsal, that's the first East banquet, okay? And that's Sam. Because he was so outgoing, because he was so affable, and because he was so passionate about East, he became part of what we were calling at the time, the National Demonstration Team. That team grew up to be our ambassadors. And all he got to do as part of the National Demonstration Team was travel the country and tell people about East. He missed, I think, 30, 40 days of school your senior year. Yeah. And the phone would ring. I'd have to go up, talk to the principal, and say, Sam's going to be gone next week. I'm like, where's he going? Hawaii, Chicago, Puerto Rico to meet the governor, you know. He missed 40 days of school, and yet he was still given a scholarship to UALR, and he became an East Scholar at UALR. It was at UALR that he began to show what he was growing into. It wasn't a big surprise to me, because I've been able to keep up with him some. It wasn't a big surprise to me to see that he was named one of the Entrepreneurs of the Year last year, not only in Little Rock, where he's kind of located and based, but he also went to D.C. to get honored for the work he's doing and the companies he's working with. It's proof he went to D.C. That's Sam outside the most recognizable address on the planet. And I want to tell you something before I bring him on here. In another 15 or 20 years, it will not surprise me at all to see him on the other side of that fence. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Samuel Carrasquillo.
I had to walk out because he talked about me like I was dead or something. I was just right there. And by the way, I was actually in the White House. I had to talk there. I got an award there. They just don't let you take pictures there, so I had to take it outside. I snuck 2 pictures in, and I got yelled at by a CIA agent, like out of the blue somewhere, and he took my phone away. No joke. So he gave it back to me at the end, and that's why I had to take a picture outside of the White House, not inside. So anyway, let me prop this up here. So So how many of you guys have heard, hey, follow your dreams and you're going to be fine, you're going to do great, you're going to be rich, you're going to be famous? Well, that's a lot of crap. So it's the truth. It hasn't been I was in East. He told you about how I was in East, and I was sitting right here where you guys were at, except for we used to have this in another room, I'm sure, the banquet room. And when I was your age, so I'm not much older than you, by the way, but when I was your age, I was sitting there thinking, man, I'm going to be awesome. I'm going to make all this money, and it's going to be great. And, well, that's how it goes, right? You're thinking that, you graduate high school, you're ready to hit it hard, and then that doesn't happen. It really doesn't happen. So I thought, when they asked me to speak, I thought, what would I speak about? And I decided to talk about the fact that you guys are sitting where I'm sitting right now, and you guys you have a lot of talent, so let me just tell you how the road forward goes. Before I do that, I got to tell you a little bit more about me. I usually walk around, that's why I'm kind of, let me tell you a little bit more on me. So here we go. I was born in Puerto Rico. I don't know if anybody here knows where Puerto Rico's at or is Puerto Rican. Yeah, there we go, nice. All right. It's a lonely place, Arkansas, if you're from Puerto Rico. So I was born in Puerto Rico, which fits in Arkansas almost 15 times, in a tiny little house, and I was actually on food stamps, which the only reason why I say that is because, which is true, but the only reason why I say that is because there's a lot of you guys that might be on that position, and you think that life's a lot harder for you than it is for everyone else. But I tell you, you can actually walk out of that. But, okay, I can control this. So, my first dream was to go to the NBA, and I was really, really good at basketball, except for it was just sixth grade. So I just thought I was really good. And then I moved to Arkansas, and I realized that that's how basketball players look like here. But I kind of look like that guy right there. That's actually a picture of me when I was I'm just kidding. That's not a picture of me. But it could have been. It could have been. So my dream failed, and I was really depressed because I was going to the NBA. As you can see, I'm 6'4". And so, wow, I'm 5'5", 5'6". So anyways, I was depressed and all that. So I thought, man, what am I going to do now? So I got here to the U.S. from Puerto Rico, and it was the summer of ninth grade, and I didn't know much English at all, and I still don't, so you can tell talking to you right now. So I needed a plan to learn English because they told me that if I didn't learn English, instead of going to the ninth grade, they would put me down to the 7th grade at Northwood Junior High, if anybody knows where that is. And that pissed me off, it made me mad. Is that a bad word? Is that a bad word? He's looking at me. Anyway, so that made me really mad. Sorry. That made me really mad. So I decided I needed to do something about it. So believe it or not, my plan was to learn English over that summer. So I picked up the dictionary because I didn't have the money to hire tutors or to do anything like that. So I literally picked up the dictionary and studied it the entire summer. And I'm no nerd like some of you guys are, but I had to. I had to do that. I had to do that so I could learn. So the plan actually worked. I learned enough English to go into the 9th grade. And my grades weren't very good the first year, but that's okay. I was still in the 9th grade and I passed. So yeah, that's awesome. All right. In 9th grade, Mr. Dozier, which is the guy that introduced me, he was my East facilitator and my English teacher. So this is all to him, right? So 9th grade, he introduced me to East. And man, I was blown away, as the baby shows you. I was completely blown away by East and what East was all about. So I decided, man, I got to get in there on my 10th grade year. So I just walked into the counselor and said, hey, I want to be in East. Well, then the counselor told me that the class was full. So again, my dream failed, right? Because it was my dream to get in East, and I didn't get in East, so it failed. But then in 11th grade, it finally happened. Whoa, that was loud. In 11th grade, it finally happened. I got into East, all right? And my first experience with East, by the way, I still don't know much English then, right, was, hey, does anybody want to be in the PR team? So I was like, heck yeah, I want to be in the PR team. I'm the only Puerto Rican here. So I gotta be in the PR team, right? So I was like, yeah, I'm in. And then they told me what PR actually stood for, which was presentation team, and I'm like, heck no, I got to get out of this. So I tried to get out, and Mr. Dozier and Tim Stevenson, which was the big guy that came up at the front, the first guy to talk, They both told me, stay and we'll see how it goes. I was just going to be the brown poster child for them. And it worked. But that guy I got to go to Virginia and float the river, which was awesome. I got to go to Chicago like 5 times, and I was a huge Michael Jordan fan, which, maybe you guys don't even know who Michael Jordan is. So it's like the guy that's better than LeBron by 5 times now that he has 1 ring. So, for sure. So I got to go to Chicago and hopped over the fence and went to the statue where he's like this, and I took a bunch of pictures to him, like all like this and everything. It was awesome. All right? And then I got to go to Hawaii, like he said, which was incredible. But not only that, they took me around in limos. You see that big building there in Chicago, the Sears Tower? I got to eat on the top floor in the Sears Tower, all because East paid for it. So that was awesome. So I'm glad I stayed. But I'm really glad I stayed because East taught me a bunch of stuff that you guys probably don't get right now, and you will get real soon when you start failing in life. And that's when I learned it. But East taught me how to listen. One of the things I had to do was to get the projects that everybody was working on and get those projects and take it to Hawaii and take it to Virginia and show them off to other people so they knew what East was all about. I like to think that there's the reason that there's East in Hawaii is because I'm wild right here. But we won't go there. All right. It taught me how to problem solve, which you guys know. You get all this software in front of you. You don't know what to do about it, and then you start to kind of figure it out. It taught me how to communicate because we worked in teams all the time. It taught me how to be creative because you kind of had to work from scratch. It taught me how to public speak because I had to go to all these places and talk. It taught me how to build relationships, just with my other team. I had friends and all that stuff, but it's hard to work with other people that might not necessarily be like you. So this guy's this way, and this guy's this way, and this guy's this way, but they're all together in this one team, and you have to work together, and so you get to build relationships. And it taught me how to have passion, vision, inspire people, and it taught me how to lead. And the most important one, I say, is vision. And vision gets you really far in life. I think it's the number one thing. So make sure that whenever you're looking at your project, not only think about your project right now, think about what your project can be later on. I think that's awesome, all right? So East gave me vision, of a better word. I grew up in a house where my parents fought about money all the time, and I'm sure everybody has that experience. So I wanted to do something different. So my new dream was to be rich, right? Which I'm sure all you guys want to be rich, so, all right? So the first thing you get at whenever you want to be rich is multi-level marketing. Something that you guys probably don't know about it is called pyramid schemes. And it's those programs when they say, all right, you get yourself, and then you get 2 friends. And then those 2 friends get 2 friends. And those 2 friends get 2 friends. And then everybody's out selling, and we all make a bunch of money. Well, that's crap too, because it doesn't work like that at all. And so those are a few of the companies that I worked for trying to be rich and on the multi-level marketing thing, which I promise you, this is going to save you a ton of time. Because whenever you graduate high school, all these companies will come after you and saying, okay, now you got all these friends, so now get 2 more friends and get 2 more friends. Just turn them away because you heard me and you say, man, Sam once said, don't do any of this crap. And I will save you a ton of time, I promise you. Some of you will not listen to me and will be broke. So, all right. So then that failed. And that dream failed. So I had to figure out what else to do. So I figured out what every rich guy had. Every rich guy has either a company of their own or real estate, right? So I continued to dream. So I started a lawn mowing company, and it failed. And I started a painting company, and it failed. And then I started a construction company, and it failed. It all failed. So don't worry, I figured it out because I'm talking to you right now. So I'm a loser, and what was I doing wrong? And what I was doing wrong is that I was following the dream. So the dream was to be rich, right? So I was just saying, whatever I have to do to be rich, that's what I'm going to do, and I had no plan, instead of following a plan. And so here was my plan. So this tells you how I got to talk to you. So the first thing I decided to do was to research Central Arkansas. This is just one of my businesses, but research Central Arkansas. Then I needed to find a city where houses were cheap but sold fast. Then find a house that was cheap but needed a lot of work. Go look at it several times and come up with a list of things to fix. Then I had to get bids on fixing those things before I bought it. Research how much houses go for after they're fixed. So you following me so far? All right. And then just do simple math. I mean, it's just simple. So you do simple math. So it's the cost of the house plus all the cost to fix it equals blank. And then it's the price of the house after you do all the fixing minus all your cost equals your profit. You guys are smart, so you understand that. So then I wrote all this stuff down, and I went to a bank, and I showed them my full plan, which you can do this. This is not like some guy that's coming up here talking about something that can't happen. So you go and talk to the bank, show them your full plan, and then the bank actually, based on what you see, some banks will believe in you, and some banks will give you the money to buy the house and execute your plan. So we're getting to the end of this, I promise. All right, so the plan worked. And so once the plan works, all you have to do is repeat it, and repeat it. And so that's what I did, by the way. That was my first house right there that I bought. And then that's me working on it, breaking up the tile on the floor. And that's after it was finished. Doesn't look a lot different, I know. But that's me carrying a bunch of money home. And that actually did happen. So, all right. So lessons learned, and we're done. This is the last slide, and I'm done, guys. So, one, it's not where you're from, where you're born, or how hard you had things growing up. It's where you finish. So, whatever spot you are in life right now, you can you can do great things. Just you got to keep going. Dreaming, it's fun, but it doesn't get results. East is freaking awesome because that's where I learned all my stuff. Absolutely. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Not it probably is, it is too good to be true, so walk away from it. Follow plans, not dreams. Work hard, but plan harder, and get help. There's a ton of help out there, and I'm encouraging you guys to start your own business. This is what this is all about. This is why I went to D.C. for and all that stuff. So start your own businesses. It's a lot more fun than working at McDonald's or where you guys are working right now. So, or wherever, Sonic or whatever you got. Now you guys are mad at me thinking, all right, maybe you guys are working in cool places. No big deal. All right, so get help. There's a place called Arkansas Small Business Development Center. You can go there, and they can teach you all this stuff about how to do a business plan, how to research, how to do all these great things. And then just research before you start. Don't just jump at something and hope that it works out. It doesn't. All right? And then plan, and then execute your plan, and then repeat, and you have a bunch of success. So that's all I got, guys. That's all I got. Awesome.